In the world of competitive sports, there is very little that can get the heart pumping and the crowd on its feet like a fight between two athletes. It's personal, it's primal, and it can get quite brutal at times. Not to mention the variety of fighting styles that clash in the ring between two athletes. Downright bizarre, we think you'll agree these fighters are definitely some of the most unusual we've ever seen. Nikolai Valuev. It's likely you've seen pictures of this boxer around the internet and immediately labeled them as Photoshop. After all, look how absurdly huge this guy is. The crazy thing is, Nikolai Valuev is very real. The former Russian heavyweight champion often dwarfed his opponents thanks to his 7-foot height and 323-pound weight. Early in his career, the Beast from the East crushed everyone in his path. However, his huge size wreaked havoc on his joints, and in 2009, Valuev retired from the sport for health reasons. Michael Page. There's nothing unusual looking about this particular MMA fighter. Then you see him fight. On the surface, Michael Page practices a blend of kickboxing and karate. However, the 29-year-old has some rather strange body movements he uses in the ring. Anyone watching sees Page move his arms, shoulders, and head in a rather exaggerated and unusual movement. At first, fans and commentators thought it was showboating, but eventually it became obvious that these strange movements are used to throw off his opponents and conceal kicks and punches. Izzadine Burgos. It's generally understood that to be a boxer, you need two good arms. Izzadine Burgos showed that isn't always the case. When he lost his arm in an accident at a young age, boxing was probably the last thing on his mind. Then when he was 12, Burgos started boxing and in 2012 entered an amateur competition where he took on other two-armed opponents. While he was sadly shot dead in 2015, official tournaments and video footage from street fights show this unusual fighter was more than capable of holding his own in the ring. Lee Hoi. If you're going to take on mixed martial arts fighting, you need to be in shape. It's also assumed that you need good eyesight. You see, this 27-year-old is unusual because he's legally blind. To him, his opponents are just blurry outlines with no depth. Despite this massive disadvantage, Hoi is more than capable of holding his own and has medals proving his ability to defeat fully sighted opponents in the ring. Emmanuel Yarbrough. At 6 foot 8 inches and weighing 600 pounds, Emmanuel Yarbrough was definitely a big guy. When he stepped into the MMA ring, he became one of the most unusual fighters to ever grace the octagon. He only ever fought 3 matches, winning just 1. Despite his large size and strength, his mass meant he didn't have the speed to endure bouts with smaller, faster opponents. He sadly died of a heart attack in 2015. Gogia Mitu. In the world of boxing, there have been some pretty big fighters, but they are all dwarfed by the massive Gogia Mitu. There's a good chance you don't even know who he is, but in the 1930s, the Romanian claimed the record for the tallest pro boxer ever. Mitu was up to 7 foot 6 inches in height, around 330 pounds of weight, and he only ever fought 3 pro matches. Making regular people look like hobbits, we bet his opponents felt a little uncomfortable when they stepped into the ring with him. Drunken Fist. Drunken Fist is a style that comes from Chinese martial arts and imitates someone who is drunk. Fighters sway back and forth, seemingly losing their balance. It's all on purpose, however, as the fighter is actually in complete control. Opponents have trouble tackling this unusual technique because it seems so random. While it looks comical, it is actually very difficult to master. Kangaroo Boxing. If you Google this, you'll find footage of 2 kangaroos fighting or even humans sparring with one of these animals. There are actual exhibition matches that take place where humans really fight kangaroos. We don't know what's more unusual, the fact that kangaroos wear boxing gloves or that someone would actually sign up to box this animal in front of a crowd. It's definitely unusual all around, and we're pretty sure animal rights groups aren't big fans. Mark Zupan. He may have only fought 1 MMA exhibition match, but Mark Zupan is an unusual fighter. Zupan is a wheelchair rugby player and a quadriplegic. In 2012, he took to the ring to fight Jason Ellis, an able-bodied fighter. Unfair fight, you say? Not really. Ellis also used a wheelchair for the Las Vegas fight and saw that Zupan could bob and weave with the best of them. It also doesn't hurt that he beat Ellis. Kyle Maynard. This unusual athlete and fighter is the type of person who rightfully makes the rest of us feel like lazy slobs. Kyle Maynard is a quadruple amputee and an MMA fighter. He actually started out playing high school football and then moved to the wrestling mat. Not done there, he started training and taking part in MMA fights. Despite having no arms or legs, his speed and strength are truly incredible to watch. We hope this video informed and entertained you. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to The Riches for more incredible videos daily. Thanks for watching.